Hi, I'm Jerry Carter with the Crest Business Law Group. Today I want to talk about a question that my wife and I were talking about this morning. So my wife's question was, if someone has a living trust, does that prevent their family from having to go to probate court when the person who has the living trust dies? And there's really one answer to that, which is it doesn't always prevent you from having to go to probate court. And here's the reason why. You got to think of a living trust as a special vehicle to hold and protect your assets that you accumulate during your life. And the thing about special vehicles is you have to use the vehicle for its intended purpose. So if you imagine that you're a bank and you buy an armed truck, a Brinks truck, to carry cash from your bank to another bank. It's great that you spent $50,000 on this armed truck and you have an armed guard on the truck, but what if you don't actually put the cash in the truck and you just send the truck empty to the other bank, and then you put the cash in your own vehicle and you drive yourself to the other bank? Well, what happens if you get in a car wreck or you come under attack and someone steals the money from your personal vehicle? It's because you didn't use the Brinks truck you bought. And with trusts and living trusts, it's the same thing, because for it to work, you actually have to get your assets into the trust. And for every type of property, there's a different way to get it into the trust. For example, if you have a house or real estate, you need a deed. You deed that over to the trust. If you have a bank account, you have to go to the bank and change the name on the bank account to the name of your trust, and so forth. And so there's a special way to get those things into the trust. In the legal world, the attorneys call that trust funding. If you heard the phrase funding, that's a technical term used by lawyers to describe the process of getting your stuff into the trust. I will say that our office does not write trust agreements. We don't prepare living trusts. We litigate issues that come up when there are problems with the trust. But I will say that a responsible attorney who prepares your trust will assist you in getting your stuff into the trust. And you should insist on that assistance. Even if you think it's going to cost you a little bit more, you need to use that attorney's expertise to get your assets into the trust. The other thing to say about that, though, is sometimes you pay money to an attorney, you prepare a living trust to protect your assets, and maybe 2 years later, you go buy something new. Maybe you go out and buy an airplane. It's kind of on you to make sure that when you buy that airplane, you buy it in the name of the trust as opposed to in your personal name. Another thing that is really a prudent thing to do is to check in with your trust attorney every couple of years, just to update them on what's happening in your life, any new things you bought, any new accounts or investments that you went into, any changes in your family situation. That's all just prudent stuff. And that's, on the one hand, it'd be nice if you waited for your attorney to reach out to you and say what's new, but since you're the person whose assets are on the line, you got to take the initiative and reach out to your attorney and say, it's time to talk because some things have happened in my life. I've bought new stuff, I have new investments, my family situation's changed. One more thing to say about all this is that there is kind of a backstop when your attorney helps you put together a living trust. The attorney will also have you sign a will. A will is different than a trust, and that definitely, the will does go through probate, but it's basically to catch everything that you didn't get into your trust, and the will say everything that didn't make it into the trust, take this all over to probate court and have the judge order that it goes into the trust. It sounds simple, but it is an expensive process when you have to go to probate. So you definitely want to, in the first instance, just take the action that's necessary to put your assets in the trust instead of relying on that will, because that will be an extra layer of time, difficulty, and expense. If you have any questions about whether you're protected, feel free to reach out to our office. We're at the Crest Business Law Group. We can assist with questions and controversies involving a living trust or a probate matter, and we'd love to answer your questions. you can call us at 775-448-6070. Again, 775-448-6070.